Defensive coordinator for the New York Jets, Levi Gatska.
Thanks, guys. Someone's phone's going off here. Oh, Coach Schoenberg must have left his phone up here. I'll have to get that to him. But there you go. Okay. Before anybody says anything, it's a good 42-7 victory. We played on Monday Night Football for the second time this year already. I think we're well deserving of that. As you can see, it's a good performance by the offense, putting up points, and then obviously my defense shutting them down to only 7. It's a tough task with the Vikes. They got a good offense, so we'll get her going. Yep.
Jeremy Schapp from ESPN.com. I was just wondering, only giving up 7 points in the last 2 weeks. That's pretty impressive. Can you go into a little depth this week? What you guys really keyed in on to stop Brett Favre and the Minnesota Vikings?
You know, we watched a lot of tape on last year's season of the Vikings. You know, this year they're 2-2 now, but you know they had a great offense last year with all the guys they had. But we really tried to shut down Favre because you know before Favre got there they were a run first team, but now it sure seems like they like to pass the ball first. They're kind of pass happy. As Peterson only had 7 carries on the game. I mean that's not enough for a guy of his caliber. But I guess we just tried to eliminate a lot of the medium to short throws. They like to run a lot of slants and curls and swing passes, and we just tried to take that out. And it helped that we built a lead, so they were playing from behind, so Peterson didn't get a chance to run the ball a lot. So
another thing to add off of that would just be you would think that the Minnesota Vikings would have been a little more prepared coming off of a bye week, had another extra week to study you guys.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you think they would have been more prepared. I guess, like you said, they came off the bye week, but obviously they must have felt they had a good game plan in place. But we shut them down. So I don't. Yep.
I asked Coach Schoenberg this question. I'll ask you also. Do you think the allegations that are happening with Brett Favre got into his head during this game coming back to New York for the first time?
Honestly, I don't think so. Favre's been in the league 20 years now. He's a pretty knowledgeable guy of the game. I don't think he lets things like that get to him. I mean, I don't know if they're true or not. I mean, I hope that they're not, but for his sake, because he's a good guy. But I don't think it bothered him. I mean, he finished the game 14-22, which isn't too bad. But they're playing catch up, and they just, I don't know, they just weren't really in it. They got behind, but no, I don't think it bothered him too much. He kind of, when he's on the field, he doesn't really let that affect him. Yeah. Right here in the middle here.
One big play that I would say really opened the door for your defense and the offense marching down to score to put you guys up by more than one would have been Adrian Peterson's costly fumble that Cromartie jumped on. Was there any sense? It almost looked like Anthony could have picked that up and tried to run it in for 6, but he just hopped on the football. What's your guys' philosophy on that?
It's funny you ask. Actually, in practice, we do a lot of scoop and score drills, but we only really tend to use them in situations we know there's another guy there in case the guy doesn't quite pick it up cleanly. So I think he did the right thing in that situation. There was no one else there, so he just dove on the football. It's a smart play on his part. He's a young guy. He's had a couple good years in San Diego, but he's happy to be a Jet, and he's liking it here. So I'm glad he just fell on it because it allowed the offense to go down and put another score up. Got time for 2 more quick ones here. Yep, back there in the corner.
It's been raining all day in New York,
Yep.
and game was scheduled for 7:30. And the lightning came, and they had to clear the field and everything,
Yep.
and postpone the game an hour and 45 minutes, I think it was. Did
Yep.
that affect the way you went into the game or anything?
You know, I don't think it did at all. I mean, the guys were antsy to get out there, obviously. They were ready to go at 7:30, but because the storm kind of hit just about as the game was about to start. So, I mean, they were kind of mad that they didn't get out there on the field right away. But they just went in the locker room, actually played some video games, kind of calm them down a little bit. But about a half hour before the game started, they got back out on the field and got stretched out and ready to go, and they were ready. Last one. Yeah, right here in the front.
Sal Fasano from the New York Times.
Hey, Sal.
I was just wondering, Taylor Mays is on pace to set a record in the NFL for interceptions, let alone interceptions returned for a touchdown. He had another
Yep.
one tonight.
Yep.
What would you say is his biggest goal this year as a New York Jet?
Before I answer that part of the question, I just want to say Taylor Mays has an interception return for touchdown in every game this season. And now to get to your question, his goal is not just individual stats. He's more of a team player. Obviously, he likes that it's him doing it, but honestly, if it was Revis doing it or Cromartie or anybody else, he'd be in favor because the team's winning. His main goal is to get to the Super Bowl and compete in the Super Bowl and hopefully bring a title to New York. So, is that all we got? Is that it?
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
The defensive coordinator for the New York Jets, Levi.wmv.